Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about why HBO's Task is probably the best written show of the year. Now the finale's aired, I've had some time to sit with this story and really appreciate just how carefully it was built, how every line, every callback, and every, quiet moment really paid off with this show. Task wasn't just a crime drama or a thriller. It was a study in guilt, forgiveness, and what it means to find peace after trauma and devastation. What makes Task stand apart is how everything mattered. Like nothing was wasted here. From the early mentions of Sam talking about the deer on the road to the vagrant bird metaphor, how that came back around from Aaliyah's random seeming marksmanship trophy and then at the oddest timing to have that brought up, how that came back around to Robbie's final act of redemption. Every detail in this show mattered and it circled back. Each episode, it layered on the last, and not through twists for shock value, but through emotional logic. When the show told us something, it wasn't just like setup and payoff. It was cause and consequence and things that actually, matter just a little bit more. The writing, it respected the audience's memory, and it was, it rewarded our attention. If you paid attention to these details and brought up these things or thought of these things while you're watching the show, it was probably pretty gratifying to have the show know that you were going to remember. At its heart, Task was about, broken people trying to do one good thing before they ran out of time. Tom anchored the story as a man holding everything else together and everyone else together while barely holding himself together with his drinking cup. I can relate to having a drinking cup. But Robbie, he embodied guilt, self-destruction as penance. Maeve gave the show its soul, a mother figure, but a mother figure who had that forced upon her, caught between protection and truth. And then Grasso, even maybe the most surprising arc of all, became the show's quiet tragedy, like a man who did wrong for reasons that he thought were right. And it doesn't matter whether or not you felt that he was redeemed by the end or not. It's just the fact that every character was fully drawn out, even the so-called villains, right down to Jason and Perry. The show, It didn't judge them so much as it understood them. And I think that's rare, man, to get that kind of nuance in a show. The title of the finale, A Still Small Voice, it says everything about this series. It's about finding meaning when the shouting stops, when the violence fades. What's left is conscience, forgiveness, and silence. And throughout the season, we saw these cycles of violence, the weight of family, the weight of tragedy, and the question of whether anyone can fully redeem themselves. We got Tom forgiving Ethan, Maeve protecting Sam, Robbie dying in search of peace. Every storyline pointed toward the same truth that forgiveness isn't loud, it's quiet. And what impressed me most about the direction was how patient it was as well. The show trusted stillness. It never rushed. It knew where it was going, and I think it laid its track pretty well. Action scenes were scarce, but when we got them, they were exhilarating, and their scarcity, I think, it made them feel earned, and it heightened that exhilaration. And all of the groundwork that this show laid for the characters heightened the tension because we cared about these people and what they were doing. So when Task exploded, it mattered. When it went quiet, it was devastating at times. It could break you, and that balance between minimalism and intensity helped make each episode feel more cinematic, but still intimate at times. And then the cast took all of that writing and it made it live. Mark Ruffalo gave one of his best performances ever. I almost said the best performances ever. That'd been a lot. But restrained and haunted, but deeply human. He's really good at playing these understated, subtle characters that are really impactful, though. Tom Pelphrey continues to be one of TV's most magnetic actors. Every scene he's in feels alive in this show. Like I said, it never felt like Tom Pelphrey was acting. It just felt like this was a character, not even a character. This was a person. This Robbie guy was a real person, and Tom Pelphrey ceased to exist. Between this role and what he did on Ozark, incredible work from him, man. And then, of course, Emilia Jones as Maeve. She was extraordinary, grounded, heartbreaking in equal measure. Just what a character that's so easily not even relatable to, but you could feel sympathy for so easily. Fabian Frankel as Grasso, also great. A man torn apart by, loyalty and shame and guilt. Played with such nuance that there are probably people out there who forgave him and feel like he did redeem himself. And I wouldn't fault him for feeling that way. Even the supporting cast, Aaliyah, Lizzie, Perry, Jason, Kathleen, everyone had even like little, at least miniature arcs that still felt complete. Like there was no extras on this show. There was no fat to be trimmed. Like everyone mattered. Everything mattered. Ultimately, this show isn't about drugs, gangs, or corruption. It's about human beings trying to find grace in a world that doesn't offer much of it. Every storyline, every death, every confession, it built toward that moment in the courtroom when Tom looked at his son, Ethan, and said, "I forgive you." Like that's the show distilled into one sentence. The still small, quiet voice after all of that noise. It just didn't. This show didn't just tell a story. It understood it. It understood these people, and it understood how to convey what these people would be going through. And that's why I feel like it's one of the best written shows of the year, if not the best written show of the year. So understandable. Like it's not necessarily relatable because these are unique circumstances, but this show took circumstances that a lot of us might not be able to relate to and made us feel for these people. And I think it just did a really great job. So let me know what you thought about this show in the comments. The whole season, what moments hit you the hardest? Who gave your favorite performance? What were your favorite moments? Like I just already said that. Like there's so much to talk about from this show. I'd love to hear what you thought in the comments. Like the channel, subscribe, share to your social media, join the Discord, join the conversation. And until next time, peace.